Hello, today we're going to be walking through the order approval workflow in Codeiris. To give a brief overview of this, basically what this means is you can set it up where users on your customer accounts have basically a spending limit set that they can only purchase a certain amount. They can only purchase up to a certain amount on your website, and if it goes over that amount, they can submit the order for approval instead, and then other users on that customer account with a certain order approval permission must approve those orders before they can be placed. So let's walk through an example. In my example, I'm going to set up two users, Bob and Janie, as order approvers. They must approve all orders that are placed by users with a spending limit before they are actually submitted. And I'm going to set up another user called Mary, who has a spending limit set, and she can only place orders up to $50 before her orders must actually be approved before they go through the system. So I'm going to be demoing this on our content.codeiris.com website here. And first, I'm going to be an employee who's basically managing this site, and I'm going to set it up from the operations portal. So let me hop over to the operations portal, and I've already signed in under my employee's account. And let's see how we set this up. So what we first need to do is go to System, and then go to Settings. And let's search on Spending. And what you'll want to do is find this company customer spending limit enabled setting, and then ensure that it's turned on. If you have this turned on, then you will be able to use the order approval workflow. If you want to disable the order approval workflow for your entire system, you just need to set this to 0. So to set it to 1 or to 0, just click into Details, change the value here, and then click Save. So once we ensure this is turned on, the next thing that you'll need to do is actually set it up for your company account or your customer account. So I'm going to go to Customers here, and then go to Companies, which are all of my customer accounts. And I want to set up the order approval workflow for presidents. So I'm going to locate that customer account and then go to the details. And what we'll want to do here is scroll down to the accounting section, and to enable the spending limit feature for each customer account, what we'll want to do is change it from no to yes. Now the spending limit is enabled. Now by default, if you have any users set up under this account that are not a super user, for example with the company admin role, or who aren't order approvers, all of those users are now under a spending limit. So you can also set this default spending limit here. For example, if you only want to limit a few users, you can change this to a really large number like 99999, and all users under the account are limited to that amount. If they go over this amount, then their orders will be submitted for approval. Or if you're approaching it from the other way, all users under this account must have a spending limit. You can just leave this at 0, and that will be their spending limit by default is $0. So then you can go into each user account and set the spending limit that each should have. So I'm going to leave the spending limit to 0 here because I'm going to set up each user's spending limit. The next thing we'll want to do is go over to Customers. And as I said before, Mary on this account should have a spending limit of $50. So I'm going to locate her user account. And here's Mary at Codeiris.com. I'm going to go to the details. And what I'm going to do next is go to roles. And I'm going to set her up with enough permissions to place orders. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give her access to see assigned locations. which are the ship tos on the account. View any orders assigned to the locations that she's assigned to. View pricing. And I also want her to be able to check out by a purchase order. And that should be good. Next, let's assign her to some ship tos. So I'm going to assign her to Illinois Drive and Division Street. Now, because I set her up with the only access to view assigned ship tos, she will only be able to see these ship tos and place orders under those ship tos. And now let's go ahead and set her spending limit. So we can scroll down, and here's the spending limit that she should have. It's currently set to 0, so any order she places will basically be submitted for approval. I'm going to go ahead and set it to $50 so she can place orders on the account for up to $50 before she has to submit them for approval. Now please note that if you set the spending limit on a user and they have a super user role, such as the company admin role or the accounts payable role, these roles are considered super user roles, which means they have full access to the account. So any spending limit that you set on a user account with these roles will be ignored, because the system assumes that since they do have full access to the account, they should be able to place any orders they want under any amount. Similarly, if you have tagged a user as an order approver, they will not be subject to any spending limits that you set. Alright, now that we've set up Mary, who has a spending limit, let's set up our order approvers, which are the users who will be allowed to approve these orders. So I'm going to go back to the user accounts under the customer. And my 2 order approvers will be Bob and Jane. So let's go to Bob here. And let's set his roles, because he already has a default role of company admin. He has full access to the account. And I also now want to let him approve orders. So I'm going to add the order approver role here. And now he will be able to approve Mary's orders when she submits them for over $50. Let's do the same for Janie. She is also a company admin because she has full access to manage the account. I'm going to go ahead and add the ability for her to approve orders as well. Alright, now that our setup is complete, let's see what this looks like from the customer side. So I'm going to go ahead and open a new browsing session, and I'm going to sign in as Mary, and we'll see how the order approval flow works. Alright, so I've signed in as Mary under the For Presidents customer account, and let's go ahead and place a order that's lower than $50 just to see that she can go ahead and place low dollar orders. So I'm going to add this product to my cart, which is only $38, and let's go ahead and check out. So I'm going to choose one of my assigned ship to addresses, Illinois Drive. And let's proceed to the payment tab. And as you can see here, we can check out as normal. I can choose pickup. I'll add my purchase order, and I get to place this order. As you can note here, the button says place order, and my order will be immediately submitted and processed. Alright, let's see what happens when she places a order that's higher than the spending limit. So let's go back to the ceilings category, and let's add a couple items to our cart to ensure we have an order over $50. Let's go ahead and check out again. Our cart total is $113 now. Let's go through the checkout. We'll use the same ship to. Now, as you can see, we, instead of place order, we now have submit for approval, because the system detected that her order was way higher than $50, which is her spending limit. And if I go ahead and submit this order for approval, after I select my shipping method, you can see we did get an order confirmation. However, the status is currently waiting for approval. The user can also see any orders that are waiting for approval by navigating to their account. And in the order history screen, they will see, if we refresh here, that their order is indeed waiting for approval, and they can keep track of the ones that they do have waiting for approval. Now let's see how this looks from the order approver side. So order approvers will get an email notification when a user has submitted an order for approval. And if we hop back to the operations portal, I'll show you what those emails look like real quick. Let's go to the operations portal and then to the email screen, which is under system. And let's sort on the latest that were sent out by the system. And as we can see, we have two emails here. One to Janie, who is an order approver, and one to Bob, who is an order approver. And we see that the subject says order submitted for approval, and we can preview that. As you can see, it gives them a copy of the order and a button that will take them to the order in their account to approve. So let me sign in as Janie, who is an order approver, so we can see what that looks like from her side. Let's go ahead and go back to the operations portal, and let's pretend that I did receive this email and I'm in my inbox. Janie is in her inbox, and I'm going to click this link to approve the order. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the link so we can pretend we click it. And let's hop back over to Janie's browser here, and if we hit that URL, it's going to take us straight to the order that needs approval. Now from here, the order approver, who is Janie, can look over the order and check it out and see if they want to approve it or not. Then when they want to take action here, what Janie can do is approve the order, which will basically submit the order and move forward with the processing of the order. Otherwise, if they don't want to approve the order, they can go ahead and unapprove it. So let's go ahead and approve the order here. I'm going to choose approve. And as you can see, the order is now in the receive status, and the system will now process the order as if it were a real order placed on the website. I'm going to place another order real quick just so we can see what it looks like if the order approver decides to deny the order. I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, I have signed back in as Mary and placed yet another order that needs approval, and I'm now signed back in over here as Janie, who will approve that order or deny it. And as you can see, the new order is here, it's waiting for approval. Now as Janie, I'm going to go ahead and go to the details, and again you'll see we have this approved approval button or unapprove. Now if Janie decides that she would like to unapprove this order, she can go ahead and do that. And the order is now unapproved, and as you can see, the status changed to not approved. Now Mary will get an email notification if the order has been not approved, so that she does know. As you can see here, we're in the operations portal on the email screen again, and she got an order not approved. So she can see that it's not been approved, and she can go ahead and view it if she would like. And also Mary, who submitted the order in the first place, if she were to go to her account, she could see that the order is not approved there either, and she could go ahead and put this order back in the cart so she can change it to whatever the order approver wants, and then submit it for approval again. So if I click this edit order here, it'll put the order back in the cart so she can edit it however she needs to and then resubmit it for approval. Another thing to note here is that the order approver, Janie here, can leave comments to the user who placed the order about why the order was not approved. So if we click on this toggle comments button here for this not approved order, it'll expand out a sidebar here where we can see that there's already been a comment left by the system that Janie has marked the order as not approved. Janie could also add some additional context like no need for some of these products, and then that way Mary will see this feedback and she can adjust her order accordingly. Alright, that about covers the order approval process. Thanks for watching.